Right, so I've decided I'm too impatient and I'm going to make a gasket. It's actually Christmas Eve morning and I'm not going to get any parts for this over at Christmas and New Year period. So I thought, balls to it. I've got some gasket paper. I'm going to make a gasket for it, rebuild the engine, see if the tyres will blow up, and I'm going to take it for a ride round yard. Set the points as well. So just do a little bit of a revamp on it. Maybe I'll give it a bit of a clean. I don't know if I should actually clean it. What do you think? Should I clean it, or shall I just leave it exactly as it is, all covered in oil and muck? I kind of like them like that, ratty little thing. That's the plan. New gasket. I'll show you how you make a new gasket. I've done it before. Right, so to make a gasket, just need to take a few measurements. Should get it out of this corner piece here. Just do it by eye. Doesn't have to be that accurate at this point, as long as it's wide enough to actually do it. And then get something the same, well, roughly the same size. And then we draw around that inside the square, fit it on, and then knock it with the hammer, and it draws out the mark. And if you hit it a little bit harder, it'll actually pierce through the paper. And then when you pull the top part of the paper away, you'll leave your gasket on the surface. So let's crack on. We're going to cut just outside this circle because the aerosol top was a little bit smaller than surface. So we'll just go a millimetre around the edge. So that's the first part done. And now the second part is just to make the outline around the edge with a hammer. It's actually pierced through the gasket paper and left us a perfect imprint of the gasket that we need. Yep. Right, so as you can see, just with tapping it with a hammer, tap it there as well, the holes will show through on the other side. If I keep tapping it, the holes will probably pop out. But that part is not actually deep enough, just along this line here. It's not deep enough, the recess on the steel. If I pull it over, lift it up, you can see there's absolutely nothing there. So I'm gonna have to cut that with the scissors. But yeah, we're not far away. Right, so now we've got that part done, we need to cut out these little sections here. That might be easier to do on there, but I'm going to clean up both surfaces, get rid of the old gasket. So that's both the surfaces cleaned up. The gasket's part made. I've done it, so a little bit of clean on camera, but it really is, believe me. Now all there is to do is to cut out these little web sections here. Once they're cut out, I can just put it all back together and torque it up. Oh, my heart beats like mad when I'm doing this job, just because if it does break, which they do break really easy, dead brittle, if they do break, I'm not even sure whether I can get these rings. Most places are out of stock for parts. I know they are for DT100. Maybe that'll take a little bit of oil stone just to smooth it out a little bit. Run the honing tool down the bore. I think we're ready to rock and roll. For anybody who doesn't know, there's an arrow on the top of the piston that tells you which direction. Always goes to the front, doesn't it? And now everything comes to a stop because I lost the the little C-clip or circlip for the gudgeon pin. So I've got to go on a hunt, magnet hunt, that's how I find it. Probably on the bench, always goes on the bench, down the 10mm socket. Right, everything's together. We've lined up the piston rings with the little pegs, and then bang on, off a barrel up. Here we go. That's it. Perfect. Now we have to re-anneal this. Got to be dead careful, because if you use a flame too hot, you just melt it. You just got to try and get it red hot, but not too red hot. Old school copper gaskets. This does have to come out again, but that's the reason why I'm going to leave this for now. It is working currently, but obviously that needs repairing. So what I'm going to do is, while I've got the flywheel off, I'm going to clean the points up a little bit. They actually look fairly new, the points. You never really can tell. Get a little bit of sandpaper. It's like a little raised pad in the middle of that one. Yeah, there's a little raised edge on it. I don't know if that's, you can actually see that. That bottom pad there, closest towards us, it's like a little bit of a raised edge on it. That could be a bit of a problem. That might be why we've got a weak spark. And on the bottom here, a little felt pad, put a little blob of oil on it, just to wet it down. Oh, that's too much. Way too much. I'll dry it off a little bit. Just take the excess away. The pad just needs to be damp. It's just so the follower doesn't wear prematurely. Oh, that's cool. This is not like a final rebuild or anything. More than likely it's coming to pieces again so we can fix all this wiring. Should run. That sounds rough as all bollocks. It's still not coming out of the exhaust. Right, so I'm not convinced that anything I've done has made any difference. I think the only thing it still can be is exhaust. So I need to get exhaust off and try it without the exhaust. The only other thing I could think that it might be would be the ignition timing, but I can't see how we would change the ignition timing on this bike. There's no slots, you can't undo any screws and move the whole plate around. The only thing you can do is set the points. So let's just get the exhaust off and we'll try it without the exhaust, and then if it's no better, put the exhaust back on and we'll go from there. This fuel pipe's completely wrong size for bike, so I'm going to change that as well. Time to fire this up, you ready? This is going to be fun. Right, try and fire it up. The reason I put camera this low is because I want you to see the flames shooting out of exhaust. This, if you're wearing headphones, you might want to just turn it down for a minute. Oh, this is not going to be pleasant. No. Well, it seems to want to run a lot better.
I think it wants to run a lot better.
That sent me into a little panic because I thought we were going to do a runaway on me. I don't know why I panicked. But let's turn tick over down and see if we can just get it ticking over. Because I think it's definitely saying now that it's 100% exhaust.
Yeah.
Oh, I turned it off. that's nerves. That's because my heart's going like mad. I thought we were going to actually rev out.
Proper screen.
Yeah. And it's still revving too high. It's definitely the exhaust, so what we've got to do is take that to a fabricator, have the piece that someone's welded in the back of it taken out and replaced with something that's free flowing. That just shows you how much a flowing exhaust makes a difference to a two-stroke. Won't even rev up with a bit of a restriction. So, and I won't have to play the trumpet again. Right, this has got to be the problem then. And we broke it anyway. Oh, look at that. Came straight out. So if you can see that. It's been welded all around there, so that must have broken and then someone's come in and welded it, but all the baffle has all collapsed inside. Don't know if you can see inside there. Is that a good target? If you can see inside there, but you can clearly see the baffle has all collapsed inside.
And that's all we can do for now. We've run out of options. We didn't get to ride it
and I'm disappointed. I also found out that the clutch is sticking. Clutch is stuck on. You can't pull the clutch in and disengage it, so we're gonna have to deal with that as well. But for now, we've got in the flat tracker for a bit of maintenance work. Winter's not been nice to it. It's got a bit of rust on it and needs electrical repairs. So if anybody wants to see content on the flat tracker, which is behind me, beautiful little thing we built, me and my son built it together, comment. We do have a lot more to come on this DT100. We've got to get it roadworthy. We've got to get it registered with a Nova. We're going to show you how you do that. We've got to get some new tyres on it and take it for a test ride. Just make sure it actually runs and is going to be reliable. So we'll probably do 100 mile or so on it to make sure it's not going to break down as soon as we get into Scotland. But the good thing is now we know what the problem is, so we can get that sorted. That will be the next video, so make sure you subscribe. Right, so that's the end of the video, and we're in the back of my delivery van. This is the van we use to transport motorbikes nationwide: England, Scotland, Wales, and a bit of Ireland every now and then. This is what we do. This is originally why we started up the YouTube channel, just simply to get advertisement out there for free, because advertisement's so expensive these days. We don't just do work for the public, we do work for companies as well. So if you own a bike shop and you're struggling for transport, give us a shout. We'll leave a link in the description. You can go on the website and get a free, no obligation quote. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to like. It's just down here. Just hit the like button. It takes you a second. And what that does is that helps us, because it shows YouTube kind of content that you like, and then it will point us in the direction of other people who like the same type of content. So it's really important to us, guys. And if you've got any input, you want to tell us what we are doing, what we're not doing, what you'd like to see, leave us a comment underneath. So if you like this video and you enjoyed this one, have a look at any of these two. We've got 60 videos now. Thanks for watching. Right, so now we know what we've got to do. What are we going to do? No, maybe think about things.